So Wall Street just dumped Elon Musk as we watch the largest and most craziest shell game in history. That's the subject of today's video, and these are the headlines. Banks sell 5.5 billion of X loans after investor interest surges. So we're talking about Wall Street banks dumping X/Twitter debt onto other people. And you got this, because it's a multi-layered story. Elon's bizarre behavior is killing Tesla sales. How much? Well, Tesla sales plunged 63% in EU's second biggest EV market. So we're talking about France. And then you got this. Tesla sales in Europe plummet amidst Elon's stupid meddling. Tesla's turned toxic as sales crash in Europe and the UK. Give you some numbers here. Tesla sales plunged 59% in Germany to lowest level in years. But wait, there is more. As you guys know, I just made in my prior video, Elon is involved with all sorts of stuff in the USA. It looks like many of these things are illegal. In my opinion, he should be, and his team should be arrested. And it's affecting sales in Tesla, right? Tesla stock falling. California might be turning against Elon Musk. And you got this. Tesla sales decline in California. Model 3 plunging 36%. But wait, there is more. You got Australia. Tesla sales are plummeting there as well. And talk about the UK. It's like multiple countries because, right, this guy runs a company and it's all around the world. Chinese rivals overtake Teslas as Britain turns against Musk. There's a combination of people don't like Musk, there's more competition, and Tesla cars are out of date and haven't been refreshed. Musk's whole, shtick right now is like, guys, I'm going to be awesome because I'm going to sell you robots. For real. People, I know, it's as stupid as it sounds. He's going to sell you humanoid robots. This comes at a time when like sales are slumping, people don't like him, and you got the high valuation, meaning that Tesla stock is overpriced by leaps and bounds. I just show you some numbers on the screen, PEs in the hundreds and 30s, 60s, 190s, that kind of stuff. And you got vehicles that are hurting people. You do not want these kind of headlines when you're a company, of course. We got nearly killed. A Tesla Cybertruck owner says full self-driving caused massive crash. So they were lucky, but unfortunately, and they make no jokes, these people were unlucky. Teslas do hurt people, kill people. Tesla crashes, leaving Lyle man dead, 2 others injured in Lamont Township. This is in Chicago. This is in New York, and this is just the last couple of days. Driver killed, passenger injured after Tesla crashes and burst into flames in New York City. All while all of these things are going on, where people are dying in his cars, people are selling his debt over at X. He's getting involved in politics, and he somehow has time to tweet about video games and say he's going to be playing video games and watch his stream. So if you want to watch Elon Musk stream video games, I guess he's doing it on Starlink tonight. Right. Like, what the heck is this guy up to? This is also things that he tweets out to piss off people around the world. February 2nd, people of Europe join the mega movement, Make Europe Great Again. One of his promotion stock accounts says here, hey, how can Americans help? As if you want Americans getting involved in European politics. On top of that, please see this old video if you haven't already. Twitter was an awful deal for Wall Street, one of the worst since the great financial crisis. Check out that. And I mention this because I think one of the things that could be, and it's hard to say because this is where, you have to do some investigation and this kind of stuff. Is there foreign money propping up Tesla, SpaceX, Twitter, right? Elon Musk himself? Who knows? You'll get these headlines pop up every now and then where, for example, it says Russian oligarch held stake in Musk's SpaceX through the trust while he was sanctioned. It's like, okay, how is that even a thing? Then you have this, Elon Musk's secret talks with Putin ramped up during his Twitter takeover. That was back in October. I'm mentioning these things because sometimes people don't realize like how much this sort of guy's reaches all over the world, and multiple entities are involved. Even P. Diddy was part of this thing. He actually invested in Twitter, Jack Dorsey. There was Saudi money in it. There was Russian money in it. Elon Musk, when you call him out on places like Reddit, he'll get your forum blocked. This came out February 5th. Reddit blocks white people Twitter forum after Musk says Doge posts broke the law. And on top of that, again, he's supported by all kinds of things. Now, this one, I'm not sure. I'll be frank. I'm not sure. Now, I'll explain what I mean by that. The headline reads, Tesla offers insurance subsidy for Model 3 buyers in China. So basically, right, we'll try to give you discounts on your insurance. I do know that there are subsidies for Tesla in China, right? And so is it the assurance part of that? I'm not sure. I just know that there are Chinese government subsidies out there. And this is sort of how you keep your company afloat. So I'll give you an example. So this is something that's being offered for car companies right now in China, where if you trade in your conventional car, you'll get like more of a trade-in, right? It's a government subsidy. So if you do this with the insurance, maybe more people will buy Teslas, but it's artificially propped up. The same way, for example, is this was another one that just came out today. There's always Tesla's like this crazy drama company. So is Musk. Tesla will give you cheaper car insurance, but only if you take the risk of engaging, quote, full self-driving. Basically, Tesla insurance isn't very good. People have mentioned that before in the community. It doesn't necessarily cover you the way you want. And then the customer service is god awful. Like, it's all through the app, and I don't think you can necessarily get someone on the phone that easily. And then I guess theoretically, if you want to take their insurance, maybe they're discounting it, but don't expect the coverage to be very good. And also too, you're putting your life, because like, for example, what good is insurance if you die? I'll just be very frank. Be careful with that stuff. On top of that, they got a demand problem over there. And so why are we talking about stuff? Like I'll keep going through stuff, but why are we talking about it? Is because much of Elon Musk's wealth is based on the price of Tesla stock. Like, it connects to everything. To buy Twitter, he had to sell some stock, but he couldn't sell like all of it. And in fact, what he had to do is they had to borrow money to buy Twitter, right? And it's interesting because like a lot of people think like, this guy, what's he's the richest guy in the world? Why does he borrow money? No, the guy actually has debt, right? I mean, that's why they're selling his debt around. They're even selling it at a loss. The loan interest rate is kind of interesting. I think it's 11%, which is kind of crazy when you talk about like these big numbers. I think it might have been $13 billion loan or something of that nature. So you're paying like a billion a month or something like crazy like that. And then on top of that, if your wealth is based on the stock, you're borrowing money, be it lines of credit or loans based on the stock, but the stock can like fluctuate like crazy, right? So who keeps propping this guy up when sales are clearly falling? Right? You can see it, and you're just ticking people off. Plus your products are unsafe. So you have that. Like for example, here, you got a real problem with Cybertruck. Tesla dropped Cybertruck lease price dramatically, offers free wrap. So I guess if you want a Cybertruck now, it's like $749 a month. And we'll see if they just like have to just give these things away. This guy's got lawsuits always up the wazoo. He's threatening, or actually I should say he added more companies. I did a video on this. It's hard to keep track of, to be frank. He added more companies to the lawsuit. He's saying, hey, you're not suing on my, X platform, therefore I sue you. And like Nestle was added to the list, and Legos was added. I think it was like Colgate Palmolive was added. It was a bunch of things. You also have this one. This was an interesting one. Musk moves to dismiss suit over Tesla's alleged use of AI-generated Blade Runner imagery. That was back in their presentation when they announced their humanoid robot stuff. Like they used this kind of picture, right, which looks like Blade Runner to me, and that's the second Blade Runner movie. And then the creator movie was like, yo, you stole my crap, stop doing it. On top of that, now this was the news of today, is they're trying to sell the rest of the X debt. So I guess this was just part of it. 5.5 billion. I think there's 6 billion still on the books. Let me read this. It says here, there's still more work to do. The loans bought by investors are among the senior most credits. The banks still hold some 6 billion of X's debt, some of which is considered even riskier than what was sold this week. And it was interesting when you read through this stuff. So basically, Lisa Yaccarino, she's got to go around and, in my opinion, basically lie her teeth off and say, oh yeah, AI is going to be awesome. And, X has a little bit of stuff with that XAI, which is, Musk is pumping up the valuation of that thing to raise money for said thing, right? And then he has to talk about how awesome XAI is. And so people who are investing in X now, you're saying, okay, Musk is going to, and team are going to owe you money. You're going to get 11%, interest rate on this stuff. So yeah, it's great. And then Wall Street's like dumping it at a loss. They got to get off their books. It was actually the loans they had were actually marked down a lot more before. But during the Trump stuff, they're saying, hey, advertisers are coming back. Amazon, to be fair to them, Amazon did come back. But it's interesting because you see Jeff Bezos hanging out with Trump and Musk together. They're all at inauguration. And so is there some sort of deals made behind the scenes regarding Amazon? I don't know. I can see them together, but my guess there's got to be some sort of agreements there of like, why is Amazon suddenly advertising on X? And then also, I mentioned before, there could be any number of foreign monies propping this stuff up. So Wall Street, they did sell the loans. They sold it, it says here, in the end, investors including, so this is not all of them, it just says including PIMCO and Citadel agreed to buy the loans at 97 cents on the dollar. The floating rate debts carry an interest rate of about 11%, with borrowing costs several percentage above even the riskiest loans on Wall Street. So I think they're essentially saying, hey, we'll dump this at a loss. We'll put the rates here, but this is actually relatively high. I personally wouldn't touch this debt, but that's what I'm saying. Is there like foreign money that's propping this up that's okay with taking losses in order to spread your nonsense on X? Because I'll give you an example. Musk wants to remove all regulations from everything, right? So if you do that, then suddenly you could take any number of monies from China or Russia to promote whatever propaganda is on X. Because now, actually, which is kind of crazy, X is state media. He just throws out any kind of Trumpy stuff all the time, and it's nonsense. Like it's total nonsense. That's sort of why I show you guys every now and then. And anyone that has any sort of just logical thinking, right? You can see right through the stuff that Musk says. The sad thing about it, though, here's the sad thing, is that there's some people that frankly just, I guess, turn off their brains because they're part of a cult and they believe the stuff that Musk says. So for example, just think about this logically. This is what Musk is trying to sell you. Elon Musk moves to make star-based Texas the official gateway to Mars, right? He's selling you Mars gateways. You're all going to be rich, according to Musk, with humanoid robots, maybe 5 in your house. He pays these, stock promoters on Twitter, etc., pump up their channel on YouTube, and all of these dudes in their mom's basement kind of stuff, drinking beer, seriously. And they sit around and chat about, oh yeah, man, Tesla's going to be the most valuable company in the world, man. Yeah, he's going to take the top 5, companies in the world, add them up together. Tesla's going to be bigger than those combined, man. Yeah. And that's actually what Elon Musk said. He actually said in the earnings call that there is a path for Tesla to be the most valuable company in the world, more than the top 5 companies in the world combined. And I always stick on that particular point because if he says nonsense like that nonstop, what stops him from saying nonsense about everything? Be it politics, be it the company's finances, be it his relationships, be it his kids, who knows any number of things that he's making up stuff, let alone the video game stuff which he's lying about. He lies about all kinds of stuff. And so he's promising you gateway to Mars. So anyone with any sort of just logical thinking, you should be able to spot through this BS. But there's so many people out there. And this is always the argument they say. They'll say, well, Chris, you're so dumb. Elon Musk makes money. And I like money. That's what they say. But be careful out there, guys. There's more to life than money. And taking money from some random dude on the street corner just because he promised you riches can get you in trouble. Or taking some money from some dude that's saying, hey, we're all going to Mars. Be very, very careful with who you get involved with. So want to hear your thoughts on this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next video.